All right, well, Chimp Crazy has taken over TV screens around the world. The documentary series calls attention to the consequences of private ownership of chimpanzees. It's estimated that at least 15,000 primates are held as pets in the U.S. Steve is in the Arc Lounge right now with photographer Alex Bogaard, who recently partnered with Chimpanzee Sanctuary Northwest, and Diana Goodrich, a co-director of the sanctuary. Steve?
Yeah, and Tyra, you mentioned Chimp Crazy. That recent HBO documentary shines some light on owning chimps as pets and how important sanctuaries are. And I was just chatting with both of you, Alex and Diana, about this. I have not seen it yet. I understand you have. What was kind of your takeaway of that documentary? What were your thoughts?
Well, personally, because I know chimpanzees so well, it was pretty difficult to watch in some places. It was graphic about some of the things that have happened tragically with chimps who have been in human homes. But I think that because of the popularity of the documentary, it has raised awareness about why all primates really shouldn't be in human homes. And we're hoping that it will lead to the passage of the Captive Primate Safety Act, which would eliminate private ownership of all primates.
Where does that stand right now, do you know? Since that's the first time I'm hearing on that.
Yeah, so it's kind of probably going to die in a committee right now, but will be reintroduced in the next session.
Okay, certainly raising awareness about it, and I think that's the goal here. Has this impacted business at all, the documentary?
Our business at the sanctuary?
Yeah.
Not so much. I mean, we did kind of, after each episode, we had discussions on Zoom with people who wanted to join us, so we were able to talk about all the issues and answer questions. We had some experts that joined us with those, and actually the discussions were recorded and they're available on our YouTube channel.
For people who aren't familiar with the sanctuary, talk to me a little bit about what people can see there.
Yeah, so we're not open to the public.
Okay.
Special people like Alex can come. He contacted us and wanted to help promote the sanctuary, and he's an amazing photographer, so we're really excited that he's been able to capture very unique photos of the chimps. But we do have a website and blog, so we post the blog every single day, just stories, and people get to know the individual personalities of the chimpanzees.
Alex, what drew you to this? What drew you to sort of make that connection with the sanctuary?
That's a great question. They are literally 10 minutes from my home.
Oh, close proximity. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, close proximity, but it's a unique, just the title of the place draws your attention. I mean, how many chimp sanctuaries are there? So as a matter of fact, there are 6 sanctioned in the U.S., and Diana's operation is the only one basically west of Texas.
Okay.
And so I've known about the sanctuary because they're literally in my neighborhood through friends who have volunteered there or friends who have donated there, some friends who work there. My impression had been that the general knowledge and awareness of the sanctuary wasn't that great in Cle Elum. And so I look for an opportunity once a year to do some pro bono work for good causes in my community. And so I reached out to Diane and said, if I can help bring a visual part to the storytelling, I'll be happy to do that. And that's how we got together.
And we're obviously showing some of your photos, or were there on the screen just a second ago. What's, in your eyes as a photographer, what's the story? What story are you trying to tell with some of the images that you've released to the world?
Yeah, so two-part story. I think the first, when you see some of the photographs of the faces and the proximities of the chimpanzees, there is a really obvious connection between us as humans and them as chimps that is different, that I found to be, let's say, different from other animals. So capturing that experience, that mood, that emotion that they feel is one part of it. The other part of it is to highlight the sanctuary. I think in the big picture, I think you asked about the program.
Yeah.
One of the things it shows is it's essentially a bad idea that was actualized. In other words, taking a chimpanzee out of the wild or having them bred in captivity. And then that initial act triggers a chain of reactions, which now means that for their life, they have to be kept in captivity. And their lives are long. They run multiple decades long.
Yeah.
And for some of them, they start approaching human lifespans. And so the level of commitment and dedication it takes to try to make the best out of a bad situation is pretty significant. And Diana Sanctuary does, I think, amazing work in terms of the facilities that are there, in terms of the medical support they get, in terms of access to the outdoors that they provide is quite unique. And so that's part of the story we want to tell too.
What do you hope comes out of the project, the partnership here?
I mean, I think like Alex said, more awareness in our local community and beyond. We're the only sanctuary, like Alex said, in the state of Washington. We're actually the only home for chimpanzees in the state of Washington. So Woodland Park Zoo, who we partner with once in a while for medical issues, have gorillas and orangutans, but not chimpanzees.
Okay.
And I mean, I love chimps, obviously. I've been doing this for a long time,
Yeah.
so I really want people to get to know who they are, bigger picture. I think, like with the documentary Chimp Crazy, you got a certain view of them, but they're just so complicated and interesting, and there's just so much to them that I want everyone to know about them.
Unfortunately, we're very short on time, but give us a good way that people can get some more information.
Sure, absolutely. So the best way is our website.
Okay.
It's chimpsnw.org, so NW for Northwest.
Fascinating. Appreciate you guys both coming in this morning. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and really important subject matter too, Tyra.
Absolutely, Steve. Thank you so much for spreading awareness to both of them. And welcome back to the ARC Lounge to Alex. I know this is his second interview with us.